already heard about it. Red jealous lemons, y'all. So feel the next discussing diamonds. Pick up your phone and call. So real, talking about facts and do that physical. So yeah, you gon' need a rap to make sure you stay afloat. So baby, don't you change that stage. Can't be all that, just to be this in the vein. It don't matter what you're doing, just say it. You can get back to it later. Later, later, later. You can get some of this flavor. Flavor, flavor, flavor. Cause real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Real recognize real. Hey, yo, Sean. Hey, listen, I tuned in one night, man. I appreciate that, man. That was real. Hey, real recognize real is a G-Law. Always be yourself, never be a fraud. Life is up and down, call it seesaw. Stay woke, triple R, ring a nigga alarm. French on the internet, feel better. Made from pure chocolate, dip the vanilla. Caught up in the rain under your umbrella. Always rock the house from the roof to the cellar. That's why I gotta tune in. When you're on camera, I hope they zoom in. So many shows when you let the fools in. I'm a mind thinking victims if you can move in. Cause real, recognize real. Always turned up, so lay back and just chill. Ain't thinking about drama, ain't thinking about bills. Natural guys, no pills. Sit and minute, just shit, baby. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real. Real, recognize real.
Hey, real recognize real, y'all.
Yes.
Y'all heard it. Real recognize real.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in again to a wonderful show we have lined up for you guys. What's up, T Love? Got my number one fan tuning in. What's up, hubby? What's up, Tracy? Tracy is also, I see him tuning in. Thank you again, y'all, for tuning in to the Real Recognize Real Talk radio show. I'm your host, Franchella.
And I'm the co-host, Lynette. Hey.
Hey. Listen, how has your week been going? I mean, today and yesterday, was yesterday nice out or just today?
Yesterday was nice out, but today was a little better in terms of the weather. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's been because I'm just coming back from Alaska.
Yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
It was in the teens, and coming back, when we came back, it was 85 degrees. Okay. I'm like, what? So that was a shock to the system. All bundled up with the ski pants and the layers, and then coming here and having on shorts going outside. So
people were probably like, where y'all coming from?
Right? Exactly.
So did y'all get to see glaciers and, you know?
Yes. We hiked to the one of the glacier caves.
Okay.
And that was amazing. We did snowmobiles, and we rode the dog sleighing, and we walked. Listen, y'all listening? We walked reindeers. Okay, with a leash. Yeah.
How slow was that walk?
We walked reindeers. Okay, we had Rudolph with her, and then we went to the North Pole to see Santa. You know, I was in my glory because Christmas is my favorite time of the year. So we had a ball. We actually had an amazing time. I cannot even say that there has not been any place that we went to where we didn't have a ball.
Franchella is a world traveler. For those of you who don't know, she's been a lot of places. So her and her husband just came back from Alaska, Anchorage, I think.
Yes. Fairbanks.
Fairbanks,
Alaska. We actually took an Alaskan cruise where we went to Anchorage and SeaWorld and Juneau. So we've been to a lot of places in Alaska, and we did so many different things. When we went there, we took the helicopter and landed on top of the glacier and did.
Wow. And y'all was in the water too. I saw pictures of y'all in the water. Now, where was that?
That was in Fairbanks as well. It was one of their hot springs. So even though it's freezing outside and snow is all around us, we're in, like a huge hot tub, I would call it, but it's natural hot spring. So that was pretty dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but without further ado, we can get back into that a little later. We have our first guest that's sitting in the green room, and we want to bring him up.
My eyes together.
Hey, John.
Hey.
What's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Blessed and highly favored.
Yes, I know that's right.
Absolutely.
I want to give you a proper introduction, and then we'll go right into the interview. So, John Cameron is the CEO of the Cameron Group and author of the book, The 5 Pillars of Leadership for Black Boys, which is a parent guidebook that was published last year. John is a unique combination of leadership, education, counseling, mental health, therapy, entrepreneurship, and an educated youth mentor. He worked as a guidance counselor with the Philly School District for 15 years, and he's also the owner and CEO of HubT-shirtinc.com. Notably, the Cameron Group provides mental health therapy and leadership development for boys and young men. John is a proud graduate from Westchester, where he earned his bachelor's degree, and Wilmington University, where he earned a master's in education. So welcome to the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show, John. Thank you for being on the show today.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the Cameron Group.
Okay, so the Cameron Group is basically, I do a lot of work with young men and boys, mentoring, coaching, and then I do cognitive behavioral therapy. After I retired, actually I did school climate and safety. I retired from the school district last year, and I went full time into therapy because I realized that men and boys struggle with a lot of emotional stuff. So I wrote an ebook also about managing depression and anxiety for men. I did notice that therapy there wasn't a lot of therapists that looked like us, right, and definitely looked like me. So it was easier for me to kind of go into that cycle, because when men see me, like, oh man, okay, I could talk to you,
right?
But I just because we grew up, just growing up in West Philly, when we're Winfield, you grew up to be strong. As a boy, my dad was, you better not cry. Mm-hmm. So what happens is our emotions kind of get tricked, whereas though when we become men, we will not communicate.
Right, right.
So when our wife or girlfriend say what's wrong, nothing.
We don't even talk about it. Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
I don't even want to talk about it. Right. So what I do is I kind of help men and boys talk about it.
That's a good thing.
I'm teaching young men, and how to. So if you're crying, don't mean you're weak.
Exactly.
That means you're going through it, and it's not a female trait.
Exactly.
So like I said, my practice, because I'm a licensed therapist, I see all males. And then we work on self-esteem and stuff like that, but just kind of just building them up, because it's hard enough alone being a black man.
Right.
Growing up and myself going to all-white university after leaving Brooke was like 99% black. Then I go to Westchester and it's like 5% black.
Right.
And you want to find your place. So I just kind of encourage the men and the boys. I do a lot of child behavioral therapy, but I also have kids who's traumatized. So I do trauma-informed therapy with them as well.
That's awesome. It's so needed because, like you said, a lot of black men have a difficult time expressing what it is that they're going through internally. They have a stigma saying, you're weak or you're crazy or something's wrong with you, or, you a sucker, whatever the labels are. So sometimes they don't want to communicate. And then sometimes they are raised in families that kind of shut them down,
right.
When they do, oh, man up, or,
right. Boy, be quiet.
Right. Be quiet. Right. Exactly. So I get how they get to that place, but it's so good to have that outlet. Because I always say that as women, we have girlfriends and different things that we can go and we can talk to them. But sometimes men are afraid to go to other men, like their friends and family, to say, well, you know what? I'm actually feeling this way, and I don't know how to handle it. So I'm glad that you provide that outlet because it's so needed. It's so needed, especially in our community.
It's
Well,
funny you say that because sometimes my first session might just me and this guy looking at each other.
Oh yeah, you got to
And
get them
then-
to open up.
Yeah, and it might take 2 sessions before you even say we might have to talk about the Sixers or the Eagles before we can ever talk about what's going on.
Right.
So here's my thing with that, right? Because first of all, I commend you for having this program, but these kind of programs are needed in a school. You say you just retired from the school district. They need to have these required classes in the school. Now, some of the kids might not open up because of their friends and things. I get it. Right. So if there are like video situations that they can show in the classroom, or show or have some of like your sessions videotaped, right. Have them sign off and say it's fine that you show, to others, because a lot of things that some of these people are going through, someone else is going through.
Right.
It might trigger or help them without them even saying a word. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And because they have to go to school, because it's a requirement, that's why I think like a lot of these life situations need to be brought up and shown or talked about in school.
I agree. It's a good place. It's a good place for them, and I like your idea too, as well as in terms of those who are introverted and you won't ever get what's going on in them out. So if they could see, okay, I'm not alone, and somebody else has experienced something similar, and this is how they handled it, maybe it might help me. So that's a good point. Yeah,
absolutely. Because I mean, we need the basics, right? We need math,
reading, writing, right.
But I mean, for real. I mean, unless you really know, the career path you're going into, you don't need calculus and algebra. Like, have y'all used any of that?
Thank
stuff?
you.
It's like
never used it.
You should learn that when you go to college because you're picking a career. You shouldn't have to have that in your 12 years of school, right? Even science. I mean, some with the fun projects, okay. I mean, but it's like a lot of different subjects. I think history is important, and it's more important to learn in our culture or African American history, which you're not really taught in school. Right. It's like the basic history. But they can eliminate a lot of these subjects and teach life skills, even when it comes to hygiene, having mock interviews, you know what I mean? Having kids come in doing mock interviews, like things that they need to prepare themselves for life.
So
definitely like CDLs, when we were in school, you had the home ec. It's something like some of the kids are not going to college. But you got, some of them, they're willing to get their CDL, things like that. Hairdressers, stuff like that. They need to bring all that stuff back into the schools.
They really do, because it gives them a fighting chance when they graduate. And it also exposes them to different things. They might not know what they want to do, but then when you're exposed to different things, you say, you know what, hey, I kind of like this. I think I'll try this, and go further with it. Yeah. And then the state of the youth today.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Where do I begin? So, I mean, you have some work cut out for you, because the state of the youth today, our Black men, our Black women, not just Black people, but primarily those are the people that you see. I'll say that in the media that are, out tearing up the city and Center City and doing different things and shooting each other. And it's just so sad to me. Like, I can't grasp my head around what happened.
Like 500 kids rampage in the area. Where were their parents at?
Right.
500 kids.
And most of them probably don't even know where their kids were.
Nope. Not at all. So it's a lot of kids raising kids.
Yes,
absolutely.
And the parents, see, here's the thing, y'all. the parents have issues.
Yeah. And
So-
Big Mama gone. Big Mama ain't around no more.
Right. Right. Big Mama, and you hit it on the nail.
Big Mama's not around no more.
No, exactly. And so I was just talking about that earlier, how, kids can't even go and enjoy some kind of sport because the parents are fussing. They fighting because they mad, that the ref called a certain play on their kid. Now they want to fight the ref. It's like the parents, of some of these children.
It's the same thing in the schools. It's the same thing in the schools. Like, if the teacher is trying to teach and there's a disruptive child in the class and he's telling the child, sit down while I'm doing the class, or I'm going to send you to detention. And then the child lashes out and call their parent up there. And then the parent is up in the teacher's face.
Exactly.
So it's like some parents, not all of them, some parents want to be their kid's friend. Right. As opposed to be there.
And that's right. And that's where a lot of things have changed. Like our parents was our parents. They loved us. They nurtured us. They spent time with us. But we knew they was our parents.
That's right. You respected them.
The line was drawn.
Exactly. You respected them and you respected the elders. Like you knew I'm not going to curse in front of somebody that's way older than me. I'm not going to behave a certain way, but now they're cursing, they're cussing you out, they're behaving. So it's like, there has to be some type of resolve. Like we have to get a hold on our youth, our children, because there's not going to be many of them left if we keep at this violence.
So John, you what you're doing, is a wonderful thing. And we've met so many others who are doing similar things to what you're doing and being these mentors, but it just seems like it's not enough.
Right.
Because there has to be a unified, it has to come from the parents first. And then and it has to be a unified effort within the whole community. But go ahead, I'll let you speak of that.
So what I do is I go to the parents. I do a lot of mental health training with the parents too. Okay. Kind of getting them on track, helping them understand that they may need some support. I'm not telling them they're crazy, but there may be something. There's a lot of, especially in our community, there's a lot of trauma.
Right.
So it's funny that you said that. I'm going to do a secondary trauma training at Lincoln High School on May 5th. Okay. Helping the teachers and the educators balance the trauma that come in their door every day. And then the goal is to teach the young kids how to manage their trauma, because there's, they're shooting up. The kids are going home, they're shooting all around them, and then somebody dies, they put up balloons, T-shirts, and then they move on to the next session. Right. So that throws the kids off from there. They just can't get up and move. So I'm teaching the kids tools to manage that stress. That's a lot of stress when you're talking about that age group.
And so, yes, we want to get to your book.
I wrote a book about it.
But I think, so John, I want you to stay on with us, because I see Robyn sitting in our green room and she is tuning all the way in from South Africa.
Okay.
I want to bring her.
We're going to continue this conversation.
Yes, we definitely going to continue this, but I want to bring her up. I don't know if she's frozen or not. Let's see what happens.
So she's live streaming straight from Africa, so her streaming platform might not be as robust because she's in another country.
Exactly.
This is a copy of the first book, though. Also,
slide it over.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
5 pillars of leadership. And where can we get the 5 pillars of leadership?
I'm gonna put it in the chat line, but it's www.thecamerongroup.info.
Okay, the Cameron Group.
And my other book is an ebook, the one that's called Breaking the Stigma, Understanding and Managing Depression and Anxiety for Men. So it's on the website too. So that one downloads straight to your phone or your tablet.
Okay, good. Okay. It's so needed because, like I said, a lot of us are broken and suffering in silence, or not willing to accept what's really going on. Like it's weird because I had a conversation with someone today, and they were talking about sometimes you get stuck in that depressive state or sadness because it becomes comfortable there. So, that was the first time I've ever heard anybody say that they were comfortable being sad. Like me, I don't like feeling like that. So I want to hurry up and do what it is that I need to do to feel better. But when you're in a depressive state, she was mentioning is you don't see your way out, or you're not ready or willing to work towards doing what it is that you need to do to feel better. So it's comfortable just being stagnant. And so I was like, wow, it just put another.
So what can you say to some of the viewers, parents that are listening, that maybe have a child that they feel like is going through something and they don't see the issue is some think they have to have it through their healthcare providers and they don't have that services, or they can't pay for all of those sessions.
Right.
So it's a money issue where mental health, it should be, certain things in this country should be free.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And especially now, because mental health has taken precedence over everything. It just seems like it's the forefront of a lot of our issues and problems in life. And so what can you, or where can you direct, some of these parents who their child or their friend's child or their neighbor that they see that they can, offer help or speak life into them? Like, what are some of the encouraging things that you tell your boys or your men?
So, all right. So what you can do if parents, insurance issue, they can always get their kids signed up for Medicare and Medicaid. And that will take care of, if they want to go to therapists. But you got child guidance in Philadelphia. There's Southern Homes, Northern Homes. They can all provide therapy for your child. They'll actually come. Like I used to do mobile therapy right to come to your house. So they'll come to your house. But you got to have an open mind. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the parents like, all right, come fix my child. That's not how it works.
Right.
It's a team thing. And it's a process. And it's down putting some, and some kids just need some ground rules. I tell parents, put some stuff in writing, put a schedule together, simple as a schedule. Certain time of night we shutting down. Like I did a couple conferences with just with moms, and I tell them with the kids, the boys, certain time of night, phones turn over, or you have the ability to shut the phones off. Phone shuts off at 9:30. Turns back on at 6:30.
Right.
Video games on the weekend, because a lot of these boys that can consume the video games all
day.
and and as parents, we get stressed out and be like, you know what, I'm stressed right now. But you got to have some kind of guideline. But start with a schedule,
right?
And be present. We got to get off the phones too. Be present.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Play some board games.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking, to collab or do something, even though I'm saying it should be a class with life skills and things like that. But maybe just an assembly. Do they still have assemblies in school anymore?
Yeah, but it's also, most of the assemblies are like geared to whatever's the structure for that school. They do have presenters come in once in a while, for the school to talk to the kids. They break it down, but it's not as prevalent as it should. Because I'm a workaholic and I'm from Winfield, I went back to work. So I'm working at this school for boys that's just kind of halfway in the foot of trouble and not. So I bought a guy who does T-shirts, and he's closer to age, and he talked about his struggles. And the boys liked it, because he was near their age and he had been in jail, but he started his own team. So I tell you, start bringing in some inspiring people too.
Right. My husband used to be a part of one of the programs that they had in the school district, where they go and they talk to them, and they listen more to the hood person.
They love it. They love it.
Who you can't talk about something if you never did it, you've never been about it. You know what I mean? You can't come there with a 3-piece suit on and think that these young kids are going to, is a shame, but respect you or look at you and
that's just the way it goes.
Listen to what you have to say. They want the hat on
back.
They
can relate to.
Right. They need somebody that they can actually relate to, who changed their life, who they see themselves in, and they see that there is a light at the end
There's
of the
hope. Because a lot of these boys, if you ask them, you think you're gonna make it to 18, a lot of them say, I'm not really sure.
right.
So you ask them what you want to do, you get older, they just look at you like a blank space because so many family members, friends, cousins, they've been killed.
Right.
So they're looking at their number saying my number might be coming up soon.
Right.
But
And
like
it's
you
sad
said,
at 18 is like
that you thinking that you're not going to make it, but a lot of them don't fear death.
No, they don't fear because they're like immune to it.
right.
But that's a problem.
And that's what that trauma I was telling you about. They're just shut down. So that's why it's easy for now somebody can pull out a gun and shoot you and not have no remorse. Because everybody's cold to it, or people can witness somebody get killed and somebody say, well, I don't know what happened, knowing it was such and such. Right. It's just like the remorse piece that's gone. So I'm working on this program for empathy for gun violence protection. Kids who've had charges. What I'm trying to do is just get them to understand pulling that trigger changes everybody's lives.
It does, not just your own, everybody.
Before I worked in the school district, I worked 12 years at a maximum security school in Wilmington. So I got to see these guys, stay there, and then on the 18th birthday have to go to prison. And they're crying and because it's different. Right. And that's what I tell them. It's different when it's grown, when you're living with a grown man.
Right. And you didn't want to follow the rules, but now you don't have a choice.
You have no choice
in the matter. Yeah, I have a nonprofit that offers violence intervention programs, so maybe we can
we connect. Okay,
definitely because
so I just like I said, when I retired, I just was like, I want to see what I can to help these guys, help these men, because a lot of men are just struggling. There's a piece in my book I talk about the dangers of the man cave. And the man cave can be real dangerous for us men because women think we're down there watching TV and just chilling, but a lot of time we shut down and depressed.
Wow.
And we just sitting there. And I interviewed like several men, and they agreed to say most of the time, John, I'm not really watching the game. I'm just kind of like going through it.
It's an escape.
And I don't want my wife and my girl to see me like that.
Right. Wow.
So I'm learning a lot, just being as a man, and you could my dad was a strong man, but I seen him, when he lost his job, we working in Winfield, he got 2 jobs, he loses his job, and I'm in 11th grade and he don't know what to do.
Right.
That'll tear you up as a man, because as a man, we are taught to provide.
Right.
And when you can't provide as a man, you feel like trash.
Right.
No, absolutely. But also this younger generation, they put a lot of pressure on a man. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, the man take care of everything. I mean, we always as women talk about being independent and, having our own, but it's about partnership,
It's about a partnership and a balance, because you don't, on either side, it shouldn't be one more than the other, because if you're carrying all the weight, then it's light for me, but it's heavy for you, and vice versa. So it should be like a somewhat of a balance, even if the balance is not 50-50, is we're both contributing to, our livelihoods.
And that's why I tell everybody, even if, if you don't have, if your kids are grown, whatever, grab a teenager, spend some time with them. You know what I mean? Once a week, whatever, once a month, just grab one and just talk to them, because that one you might be helping. You literally might be helping out.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And giving them some positive perspective, because it's going to take us to, to kind of help some, because this is like a lost, wild generation.
It's sad.
They grew up with the cell phones and all the technology, whereas though we grew up, there was a time there was no cell phones and all that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our numbers was TR8. 5 3 4
Exactly.
That was my number.
Like this.
Yeah, right. So and we modeled what our parents did. They went to work, we went to work.
Uh-huh.
I remember playing football on Melvin Street, and at around 8 o'clock, there's no cars on the block.
Nope.
But we knew around 4:30, 5 o'clock, the cars would be back.
Right.
Exactly.
And so we knew that, like, you gotta go to work, you gotta go to school, whatever, but you're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're not getting a lot of that now. And a lot of these, I hate to say, a lot of these is heroin, Percocet, syrup babies.
Molly's, it's
So
it's sad.
dealing with a different person now.
Yeah.
Right. So you fighting not only drugs, but you fighting guns.
Yeah.
It's a combination of everything, you know. And I'm telling you, I mean, talking to you both, you know, even Lynette with her nonprofit, you know, that is the solution, what you guys are doing, but it's not enough.
It's not enough.
Enough.
It is not enough. That's why I said it has to start first in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So you can talk to somebody until you're blue in the face. Mm-hmm. But if what after they leave you, if it's not reinforced,
right.
That's with anything. If it's not reinforced, it goes in one ear and out the other. So it has to be a whole community. That's why they say it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, because it has to be a whole community effort starting in the home, you know, because the kids they're actually crying out for help.
Oh, yeah.
Their behavior is a cry out for help. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, how do you then remedy that? How do you then lock into that and show them a better way? Yep. You know what I mean? So
exactly. But we have our next guest in the green room waiting. So tell everybody, John, how they can find you.
Okay. You can go to my website, www.thecamerongroup.info. I'm on all the other platforms, and it's the Cameron Group. So if you type in the Cameron Group, I'll pop right up. Like I said, I have my 5 pillars. I sold as an independent publisher. I sold over 3,000 books by myself out my car, and pending. And my ebook. I really want everybody to support that, because this anxiety and depression for men we got to help them out with this.
Absolutely.
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
But I'm on all the platforms at the Cameron Group.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, y'all.
Recognized Real Talk Radio Show, and thank you for what you're doing as well. So keep up the good work. And
all right, thank you, guys.
I want to connect with you so we can.
Yeah, give me a call. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. All right, John. Thanks again.
All right, Winfield for life.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was ready to say, you know, it's sad because, I mean, you're married and you've been married for a long time, but this is what I'm up against. You understand what I'm saying? Right. When I'm meeting traumatized men who don't really know how to channel their energy in a positive way, I'm up against that resistance. And it's like, oh God, I should have been got out this game. But when it wasn't that hard to navigate.
Right. Exactly. And then probably the same ones are all taken, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. You know? Exactly.
And everybody got a little something wrong with them. But I mean, they do, including me. You know, I ain't lying. It's real. That's real. We call it Lord.
I know, I got the switch going on. I know that's right. Oh my God.
But go ahead. All right, let me start.
Let's bring up our next guest.
My eyes.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
How are you? Good. So we want to introduce you. We want to read your bio and introduce you to everybody.
Yes, okay. So please pronounce your first name, Tahja.
Tahja.
Tahja Norman is a young Renaissance woman who dreams big. She is also an HBCU alum, an author, a podcaster, an entrepreneur, and a poet. There's so much more that I can say about her, but she was very modest in her bio. So I'm going to let her tell you for herself. So welcome. To the Real Recognized Real Talk Radio Show, beautiful. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah,
no problem. So I mentioned that you are a podcaster. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
So my podcast is called Flourishing Footprints, and it's all inspirational speaking, very brief episodes, about 2 to 3 minutes. And I air a new one every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's all motivation, inspiration, encouragement. And it's really just a way to give back as an inspirational philanthropy, since I had a lot of guidance and mentorship growing up. So I want to give that back through just like micro messaging.
Awesome.
Yes. Awesome.
So you do it as a podcast? Is it video or just audio?
Just audio.
Just audio. Okay.
Just audio. So what was your message this morning? You say every Friday. What was your message on Friday?
So that one wasn't really a message. It was more so just like follow us, because I have social media pages for my podcast. So I kept it at that for that week.
Okay. So, but what are some of your? So you said every Friday, right? Every Friday you put out an inspirational message. Basically?
Yes.
Okay.
Episodes are like one of my recent ones was don't just tell people you love them, actually show it. Or yep. I'm so on that. I feel like that's something that a lot of people fell short of.
Yeah. Some people don't really know what love is. Everybody kind of defines it differently based on their own personal definition, I guess. So, but it is an action word. So you're right.
Action word. I say it all the time because, no, show me you love me. Words don't mean anything because they just become, if you hear it all the time, it's just seems like it's just a routine,
Right.
It's something that you say, no, show me that you love me.
Exactly.
And yeah, I'm definitely an advocate on that. So that's a good message.
So where do you draw from? Like when you're writing, is it just something that you creatively do, or thinking about things to say on your podcast, or is it like an inspiration to what you post?
So it's definitely both. It's creative and inspiration. And I really just take away from things that I've seen in my life so far and just think about things that I may not have liked or even mistakes that I may have made myself. So I just take that and just think of, how do I want to come across different, or, how should I inspire others? And of course I'll be doing the same, because otherwise I'll be a hypocrite, of course. So yes.
Right. So a lot of your life lessons, your personal life lessons that you can bring to others and help them heal in some sort of way if they're going through it as well. Because the things that we go through in life, someone else is going through it. It's never just you. And I found that out when, once again, I speak about this so many times, my anxiety attack. You think that you're the only one that's going through this, that you're the only one that has been through this, only because it was never a discussion about it. You know what I mean? With any of your family or your friends, or you don't know anybody who went through it. So when you go through it personally, you think you're the only person in the world that went through it. And then you learn so many people,
a lot of people,
yes, have gone through or been through the same thing. And it kind of gives you a relief, what I mean? Inside.
Right.
It really does.
Because you're not like, oh, so there's nothing wrong with me. It's just a human emotion. It's a feeling that I'm feeling based on this experience that I just encountered. So we have to allow ourselves to feel. That's one thing that a lot of us don't do. We don't allow ourselves to feel and be human.
Mm-hmm.
Being human means that we have feelings, and it's not a right or wrong feeling. It's just how you feel in that moment. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But I can preach on. I post videos too on my YouTube channel, inspirational videos from my own life experience. So I totally get it. And you don't want people to go through what you've been through. So it's like, here, I'm giving you a guide. So I went this way, but you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Drop the gems on you.
Exactly.
And you're young though. So what the heck have you been through?
Well, you'd be surprised. You wasn't talking to me. Like I know you weren't talking to me.
I'm only messing with her.
So I really just was like really shy. Like that's something that I had to break out of really bad. And really just like confidence issues and just breaking barriers and just being comfortable in my own skin. That's been a journey for me.
Right. So I'm not going to let you off the hook. You're going to have you say you also do poetry. So you're going to have to give us a piece of something.
Okay.
And you're an entrepreneur. So tell us about that too. Tell us about that and then give us some poetry.
Right.
So I became an entrepreneur formally when I was 19. And I started off with my first LLC that was called Forbidden Fruit, which is also my clothing line. And Basically, it's a pineapple logo with an infinity sign underneath, and there's a spike with 4 dots. So I spell it as the number 4. And my slogan is now infinitely royal. And what's my most popular item on my line is my hoodies. And I had took a break from it for a while because I was in college and COVID came and everything. But I'm back out with it, and it's really been a bang. A lot of people really love it. And as far as other things, I know I mentioned my podcast. I also have a sneaker line called the Tahja Norms that came out recently, and that's on tajnorm.footwear.club. And I have my Earth Tone sneaker that I released, and also have a Tahja Norm clothing line as well. And so far, I have shirts and different things on there. That's all on my Tappy link that I had provided you guys. And yeah, so I do a little bit of everything, and I just want to keep going, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You're not letting nothing, stop you from moving forward and trying new things. And so that's awesome, because usually we go into, especially with the clothing line, we just start with one thing and see where we can go with that before we tap into another avenue. It seems like you in clothing, you got the sneakers. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Commendable. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Now I was listening to the names that you mentioned. So you talked about forbidden fruit.
Yes.
And then you went a different way. What would you say your tag?
Infinity, wait.
Sign underneath the pineapple. Yeah.
And is that called forbidden fruit? That's the line that's called forbidden fruit.
Okay. Yes, that's the logo. So forbidden fruit is the name, and then the slogan is the pineapple with the infinity sign underneath. Because formerly my logo was adjust your crown and wear it well forever. So the forever meant the infinity, but I had changed it when I had launched.
So what was the shift? Because when I think about the forbidden fruit, I think about Adam and Eve. So there was a shift there that I'm trying to get out of you. And then we're going to go into your poetry.
Okay, so the shift really was so my mom had came up with the first slogan, and then I pretty much went with what sounded cool to me at the time, because I just had like a bunch of creative ideas and I wasn't too sure, it was my first time being an entrepreneur formally. So, I'm just kind of just throwing all these creative ideas out there. And then that's when I just came out with that. And then she gave me the slogan. And then when like I said, I had took a break, and then that's when I had changed the slogan to something, just shortened so it's not so long and drawn out. Because I thought about whenever I want to design that on a shirt, I don't want it to be so long to where it's like, you got to read it like.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you said you want to hear poetry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I have one that everybody loves, and it's kind of long. Is that okay?
That's fine.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. It's called Loving Lust. And it goes like, loving you gave me something to lose. It put me in a situation with something to choose. Choose my intuitions. Words are your sweet nothings. The sweet nothings that had me blushing. It really should have had me rushing away from you. Your words is what I had no business trusting. This was the end result of me foolishly rushing into what I thought was love, but the end result was painful lust. Then I wrote a self-love letter. I said loving you was a lifetime achievement. Loving you caused my insecurities bereavement. Then you found it and thought it was for you, because in your mind, we were one. Trapped in a lustful haze, I searched for an exit where I could run, because in your mind, our journey had just begun. But in my mind, the red flag shined brighter than the sun, because loving you gave me something to lose. It put me in a situation with something to choose. Choose my intuitions. Words are your sweet nothings. The sweet nothings that had me blushing. It really should have had me rushing away from you. Your words is what I had no business trusting. This was the end result of me foolishly rushing into what I thought was love, but the end result was painful lust. And the power of lust replacing love fell in my naivety. You wanted my attention and devoured it so greedily. How many times we want to live in lack repeatedly? Under the law, we're living twice as illegally. Let's cleanse our spirits and represent with more decency. Being in love, lust has its ups and downs. A clouded judgment is a dangerous possession in the presence of clowns. In the back of your mind, you know it's wrong, but good is how it sounds. On my countenance, Your red flagged actions causes frowns, but when you're temporarily feeling good, you told me to turn them upside down. If the stars were aligned for us to be together, we'd be happy. With the bits and pieces of my silence, you stole it and got crafty. Your imagination of my submissive nature won, and sadly, it made me in love or lust with you even more badly. You had me, because loving you gave me something to lose. It put me in a situation with something to choose. Choose my intuitions, words are your sweet nothings, the sweet nothings that had me blushing. It really should have had me rushing away from you. Your words is what I had no business trusting. This was the end result of me foolishly rushing into what I thought was love, but the end result was painful lusting. My thoughts have risen from my mind. Your actions made my thoughts not so kind. Your hindrance made my progress fall behind. My submissive nature delights your joy to be mine. When outsiders ask me how I'm doing, my response is fearful, insecure, neurotic, and emotional, which abbreviates fine. Me speaking up is being out of line, but I can't say the same when your words aren't so kind. Your presence and my presence combined equals a huge waste of time. They told me loving you or lusting you was no good. I gave away my prime, years to what I should have seen and dodged ahead of time. My wiser alter ego got in my head. Her ways is what I tried to pantomime. Lust is strong, but love is even more powerful. I can't believe I made this disrespect allowable. My wiser alter ego said, be wise to what I give my consent. With my head in my lap, all I could do is repent because you were who I didn't want to resent. Love is patient. Love is kind. Lust is vacant, full of slime. You hid the red flags when I was wined and dined. I'm trying not to feel like I'm running out of time. That was loving lust. Thank you.
That was good. How in the world did you remember all of it?
I know. I was like,
I would have had to be like this.
one second. I have Robyn from Africa who's trying to tune in, and she is she said she sent me a link. Robyn, I didn't receive your message. Can you write in the comments if you're having issues with your internet to come on?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. But I have to she's chatting with me right now, and I'm trying to, get her squared away. That was a lot. Like, besides how do you remember that? What was the inspiration behind that one? Was it a boyfriend or a guy that you met? Like, what made you come up with that particular piece?
So it was really just a little bit of other people's experiences that I just saw over time, and it kind of just came to me. One day I was just on my laptop writing, and then it just flowed to me, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this I'm coming up with?
It was awesome and so true, because some people think lust is love, or they get the two confused. When
Wow.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so did I.
It's real talk. That was real talk.
It was real talk.
Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Never going back. Never going back.
Tell everybody where they can find you. Your podcast, your all of your all your
clothes, sneakers,
everything.
Okay. So everyone can go to my digital business card, and that's tappy.tech/Tahj Norm, and that's spelled TAHJNORM.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you for so
coming
much
on the show, coming on the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. We truly enjoyed you, and you're an inspiration to the younger generation. And continue what you're doing. Don't let failure stop you. Just keep fighting and pushing through. And we just wish you all the success. And so the next time you come on the show, we always tell people, once they're on the show, you're family for life. So if you got anything else going on, make sure you reach out to us and say, hey, I did this. I want to share it with your viewers. We got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you both for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. And best of luck with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Take care.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was definitely a good piece.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
What is going on with Africa with
yeah,
what's
I'm
going on in
trying to multitask over here,
So while she's doing that, I'm going to shamelessly
yeah,
plug
we
my book.
enough of shamelessly about it. This is your show. You plug whatever you want to plug. So go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it.
So I wrote a book with a co-author, Erica Sterling Bush, who is in my prayers. She's in the hospital right now. Yeah, so she co-wrote this book with me through blood, time, sweat, and tears. We cried through it. It's coping with grief. Your happiness is in your healing. It is available now on lulu.com, lulu.com. It is a self-help book full of strategies to help you cope in a healthy way with the grieving process and depression, because oftentimes prolonged grief can lead to depression. So we are sharing some of our own trials and tribulations that we've experienced in life that caused us to be in a not so healthy place, and how we got through that time. So we're sharing things with you that may help you. Now, I don't think that you can tell people when to stop grieving or how to grieve. So that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is saying these strategies worked for us. And so we're giving them to you in hopes that it will help you cope in a healthy way with grief and loss. There's information in here about how to cope after the loss of a spouse, how to cope after the loss of a friendship, how to even coach children in the grieving process. Like, how do you talk to kids about grief and loss? We also talk about how your happiness is in your healing. Because once you realize you have to go through the stages of grief, you process that and to get to your healing. We talk about dealing with depression, not taking any day for granted. We also define what is grief in the beginning of the book, and how to embrace your new life, like embracing change. And there's a lot of things in this book that will help you if you are willing, able, and ready to deal with the emotions that come with the grieving process. So again, Lynette Clement and Erica Sterling Bush, shout out to Erica who co-authored this book with me. You are in my thoughts and prayers always. Please get the book, lulu.com, Lulu. Again, is coping with grief. Your happiness is in your healing.
Yes, go ahead, girl. You said a mouthful right there. I don't even think I need the book right now. You summed that up perfectly.
You need the book.
Robyn, I sent you the link again, so hopefully you can get on and be a part of our show today. We would love to hear from you and
see what's going on. But in your background is what I want to see. I want to see, where are you? Let us see.
Exactly. So I just sent you the link again. I wonder if I should have put it in
the chat.
In the chat.
Thank everybody for always tuning in to the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. Thank you. Right. To our to everybody who has graced us with their presence on today's show and throughout. Thank you,
Sydney. I see Sydney on, and of course, Darlene is always on and supporting us. Yes, Mom Dukes. We, thank you. And so, yeah, we're just passing time. Now we want to talk about Trump and hopefully
voting next month. Don't forget to vote. Go ahead. Speaking of Trump,
this is voting in Philadelphia, right? For mayor.
It's voting in Philadelphia for the mayor and the district attorney and a whole lot of different people, councilmen and women. So the mayor, more importantly, you want to go out there and vote. I believe it's May the 16th. I believe. Let me Google it. I believe it is May the 16th. That's the date of the mayoral vote. Mayoral vote date. May the 16th. So it's important. So back to Donald Trump.
Let me see if I can put the link inside of this thing. Go ahead. Back to Donald.
It is. It's May the 16th. You want to get out there and vote. All your Philadelphia residents, the 18 and older who are legally able to vote, please vote. Don't say, oh, it doesn't matter, because it do. You see what the mayor that we have now, he's ready to run out of office.
And you know, I mean, in all fairness, I would be ready to run too.
I knew you was going to say that.
I'm serious. You know what I mean? He should be saying that on national TV, but no, he shouldn't be saying that on national TV. But the position that he's in, and how Philly is wilding out, and all of the gun violence,
but you should want to, like me. Like, I don't have the power or the money to do what he has the power and the money to do, but my little self and my little nonprofit that is applying for 1,000 grants, and y'all not giving me no money, you know what I mean? I'm putting it out there, you know. So if I had the resources that he has to do something, I would, because that's what you're supposed to do as the mayor of Philadelphia. This is your city, you know.
I know that, but like, okay, so if you, whatever job you took, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like, oh, I can do this. I'm comfortable. You learn some new things, whatever. But then all of a sudden, your job shifted, and now you got to work extra harder. And
you preaching the choir. You preaching to the choir, because every job I had, the work shifted, and once they see you know what you're doing, you become the go-to. You know, here you go. But yeah, but like I said, I mean, it's not an easy job to run a city. It's not an easy job. Yes, has it gotten difficult and worse over the years? Absolutely. But you don't fold until your until your tenure is over. You know,
absolutely. You getting paid, right?
Yes.
But I mean, if I ain't getting extra, like, so my pay scale was based on like 10 homicides. Now you 10,000, and
that's not the part of the agreement.
And so the dude from ShopRite is running, right? Isn't that the guy?
Jeff Brown, I believe his name, Brown ShopRite. He owns a lot of the ShopRites.
So I have to mention this too. I mean, you know, we got viewers that's from Jersey. We got viewers, but listen, we talking about Philly right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the woman's name that's running? Did she really think having Nutter and Street on her commercial?
I saw that commercial.
I'm saying, like, do you even know? Like, you got them backing you in your commercial. That would turn me completely off if I still.
She probably figured whatever. Both of them used to be mayors of the city, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah, they used to be mayors, but were they good mayors? Were they, like, you know, like we had?
Right. That makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Listen, it makes a big difference.
Yep.
Like, I haven't seen Street in forever, and now she got him on his commercial. I'm like, lady, was that her 2 black votes? I wasn't sure. Like, what's going on? Anyway.
Just make sure y'all go out there and vote.
Yes.
At Enoch Tabernacle Baptist Church this Thursday, they're going to have all the mayoral candidates come out and talk about what their vision is for the city. So it's a free and open to anybody. Enoch Tabernacle Baptist Church on 2800 West Shelton Avenue there. Shelton. They're going to come out there, and the mayoral candidates are going to come out there and talk about what their vision is for the city. So you can hear them, you can ask questions, so you can make an informed decision on who you want to be the next mayor of the city of Philadelphia.
Excellent. Enon, I must say, Enon they do some awesome things. They're all about the community. And so if you live in Philadelphia and you want to change, and I'm sure everybody, so that church should be packed. It should be. Yeah. You should definitely go out and hear what these candidates have to say, and definitely make the best choice.
Right.
But we've waited. Robyn, I'm so sorry that you weren't able to come on. We were really excited about talking to you, seeing where you are living and what you are doing, the great things that you're doing in Africa. And hopefully we can get you on at another time. So I'm sure we'll be able to work this out at a later time. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. Any other final words, Lynette, that you have?
No, just stay safe and blessed. And again, thank you all for tuning in.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. And we will see you next second Tuesday of the month. Please share this video, share our link, have people follow us so they can get notifications on what's going on. We keep you informed of different things throughout the month prior to coming on. So just follow us at RRR Talk Radio on all social media platforms. Our website is RRR Talk Radio as well. You can go on there and see some previous past guests shows. And just support us, y'all, because we support you as well. If you know anyone who's an entrepreneur, you know anyone who has anything that's going on, this is a platform. We give everyone this platform to come on to talk about what they have going on in their lives and the issues that they might want to speak about. This is the platform. So send them our way. Our email is rrrtalkradio@yahoo.com.
Yes.
And I think I covered it all. All right, y'all. Until next time. See ya.
Thank you.